Overlord Baron, I think you're in over your head with this one.
Oh, come on. Mark is occupied with that fine beast. This is the perfect cover. What would they want with these anyways?
They keep emitting some sort of signal, but I can't figure out why. We really are jumping the gun, you know that?
Fortune favors the bold. Dr. Simmons needs samples of it now, and it's an offer I cannot refuse. Prove to me this is something much worse, and maybe I'll have to consider. But otherwise, I really think you're just afraid to get your hands dirty.
Mine already are, Overlord. But even the most oblivious of men can feel when something is wrong. I'll tell you anything I find. What's going on? Nothing I can see on the surface. Maybe the lantern in the east hollow. Another vortex, maybe?
We're quiet as we wait for the darkness, bracing for the cold, chilling winds hiding. My heart's racing, blazing with sheer passion, ready for the shadow. You tell me that there's no hope in trying, but the worst is here, no point in hiding. No, we can't run now, we are closing in. Don't you leave me struggling. Every step that we take on the way to our destiny will someday all make sense for us. So look ahead for the signs and come back and we'll get through the night. Just wait for the light.
Godzilla is yet again frozen in battle. What's going on?
Director, I'm telling you, last night those tremors were nothing more than an ordinary occurrence. I tried to warn you prior, you still refused to allow us to prepare for this.
Dr. Regan, I'm afraid that's not quite it. Last night was no tremor. And it wasn't any earthquake. Last night, our Skull Island outpost was completely decimated. I believe you should account for that. Arcadius 22 systems failed to prevent it, which leads me to believe they were faulty.
Whoa, Director, please. It was the job of the MMC to handle the maintenance, not our job. We were assigned to handle construction of the outpost, and we did our job. We didn't account for the fact that our own allies would just abandon us without notice.
Regan, enough of the mouth. More of the value.
I was told and have an utterance later in the night, Godzilla in the new battle with what we've named Godzilla. A beetle monster seemed to glow yellow emitting a nuclear pulse, and then later the next day it happened again, vaporizing the monster. He had no regard to our outpost, using the swarm, even definitively destroying it.
What?
Please, what was Godzilla, our good friend? He's nature's protector, king of the monsters, not a king of humanity, friend of humans.
Then we must focus our efforts on finding out what happened. Godzilla must have planned this.
Director, I'm sorry, but no. Godzilla's never done this before. Something else is at play. Every time Godzilla has gained a new power, it always has an event preceding which causes it. Red spiral ray, the intake of radiation at Janjira, thermonuclear, the radiation plumes across the city, the 95 meltdown, buildup of radiation. Look, what I'm trying to say is Godzilla doesn't just summon and make power like this out of nowhere.
What transpired exactly?
Godzilla suddenly paused in the night, seemingly as if he had lost conscious, then activating this violent new form.
That's it. Godzilla was taken over. Maybe Gokubiri did it to transcend into Godzilla, a true power play.
Then we must prepare to stop Godzilla.
There's two more signals, and Godzilla's awake again. Anton, where's the rest?
Busy in the ruins, trying to get surveillance on Godzilla.
I thought that was the job of the G-Force division, was it not?
Well, that was until they were killed when Gojira decided he was going to go yellow and vaporize that bug.
Ah, okay. I wasn't informed. My bad.
What do you come here for? Better be something interesting. I still remember you leaving me halfway across the world because of some dream you had of a red ape and some ice lizard. Did they reappear again?
No, but it's much more real.
How so?
You know how Godzilla seemingly went rogue, annihilating Kokubiri?
That's their name? The bug?
Yeah, but we think that this yellow state is not the Godzilla we're accustomed to seeing.
How so? Isn't the norm for Gojira to suddenly receive some power-up every time because he genuinely cannot win a single battle on his own without one?
Here, I guess not. You see, he always gains energy prior, but here it just happens out of nowhere.
Hint? I remember that spiral heat ray. You can't convince me that was some gain of energy.
Except that's exactly what it was.
Sure, but what's your point?
I believe something is manipulating Godzilla, and I need your assistance to prove it. Please help us. Help me. The world may thank you.
What's in it for me?
Does the world not matter that much to you?
Does Mother Nature pay your bills and mortgage?
Fine, I'll negotiate for you to get better pay, bigger raises even, but please, the world may need your help.
Can you just stop? I'm almost considering opting out with just your antics alone.
Sorry, my fault. Just ride with me. I'll tell you everything else when we're back at HQ.
"70,000 years ago, all of the kaiju created by the founder lived in one world. Not one of harmony, but one that could coexist. Thousands of factions existed, as each kaiju would fight for dominance, but they all obeyed the founding kaiju, Zarata. That is, except for one. In the beginning, Zarata was merely a microscopic organism. As it traversed the new and blank terrains, it ended up discovering caverns underneath, where it began to feed on energy sources. It sprouted a winged form and ventured into the hollow earth, where it was imbued with supernatural power to create life, as if it were God himself. The first of Zarata's creations was the Junsuina Gojira, a pure Godzilla, but was too independent, leading to Zarata's neglect of him. The founder would then create the Shodai Gojira, which was much more obedient and was treated much better. Junsuina was exiled and before his passing had resided into the deepest corners of the subterranean realm. Junsuina, seething with betrayal, had discovered a new power source, now being able to plot revenge against Zarata. For the next generations of Junsuina, they would pass down the eldest father's power through a parasite being known as the Berserker. The Shodai clan had grown, with its first member and the first of Zarata's creations, Shodai Gojira, leading them. They were mostly solitary, living in the mountains where Hokkaido would one day be. Living within the mountains would be Gyakushu Gojira, the son of Shodai, known for being a bit of a scoundrel. He would later go on to become the Showa Godzilla. It was around this time, however, that disaster struck. However, Gojira Gare wasn't entirely unfamiliar with what had happened. Days prior, he had discussed with Sarata an incident below the surface, one that had broken the ranks of the Guardian Titans. And what had happened was that the Scar King, a former member in their clandestine conquest of the Hollow Earth, had entrusted a member of his personal army, the Red Stripes, to survey land he had planned to take over. However, they were not prepared for what was to come. Scar King had grown tired of waiting and brought a handful of Red Stripes to search for and potentially reprimand the ape for disobedience. However, when they reached their last known whereabouts, it only led to a trap. With the Guardian Titans now out of the way, Berserker was able to begin his revenge, which enabled his attack on the Shodai clan. However, the founder and Gojira Gare had concocted a plan. Gojira Gare would take on the Scar King and his armies, while the founder would ensure that Berserker could never become an issue again. The founder would split all worlds apart in the goal that the Berserker would be trapped in another world wherever they may end up. But in a cruel twist of fate, the Berserker happened to remain in the original universe, but eventually ran out of energy, being trapped in the body of the Junsuina Gojira that currently ruled the bloodline, and it would continue that way for thousands of years. Even with every kaiju reduced to their pre-powered state, every Gojira devolved from their current forms, and had remained that way until now, when the battles of the allegiance and cult of the founder finally made their way to where this nightmare all began. On the other end, Gyakushu and Shodai still remained. Both had been reduced back to their juvenile forms, but during the 20th century when the nuclear age began, they had been restored. Shodai was killed not long after, with Gyakushu Goji living on, slowly turning from a destroyer into a protector of the Earth. Eventually, after the deathly battle with King Ghidorah at the end of the 20th century, Godzilla and Geras and Mothra discovered the Hollow Earth. And years later, the core, where they had managed to regain memories of the Founder era, with his memories restored, Gyakushu began to ally with other kaiju across the worlds to form the Allegiance. While most of them never saw any battles, Showa kept a decent amount of his fighters at his side to protect any potential threats. One of them was a version of Kong from a world infested by zombies. Another was his own son, Manila, and then there was Godzilla Jr. from the Heisei dimension. They fought valiantly together against the rapidly growing cult of the Founder, composed of kaiju he had fought before, and ones new to him, such as a form of Mechagodzilla, Megalon, and more alien ones such as an alternate Gigon, or unknown ones entirely, Bagon and Destroya. However, the battle with Megalon had led them to this universe and awakened the Berserker. Gyakushu didn't take long to realize and had constructed a plan to lure all the members of Cult, Allegiance, and Berserker to Kostovia, the resting place of the Founder, for one final battle to wipe out not only the Cult and Berserker, but for Gyakushu's revenge on the Founder for the life he had endured as a result of Zarata's cowardice. But Gyakushu hadn't realized this Godzilla he had met was none other than the Berserker he had sought after all these years.
Godzilla's on the move again, heading fast.
Any projections?
Somewhere in the Pacific, there's thousands of islands. He'll land in one of those. I'm thinking Borneo, Singapore.
Knowing our luck, he'll probably be in Singapore.
Well, you should probably get moving. Singapore has a decent overlook. So if he does land there, which I'm sure he will, we'll be able to make some decent observations.
The US is sending out a carrier. Perhaps we'll get some good intel from it.
Good grief, you Yanks are idiots. It will just go up in flames like the other billions who don't own this equipment.
Godzilla isn't normally aggressive like this. Perhaps whatever has taken him over will have vanished by the time they make contact.
Our heli will be here soon. Be ready.
Director, give us a status report. Any significant changes in the last while?
Custodian reported 3 different Godzillas. And, one of our carriers was destroyed with an alien ocean in 22 hours.
Great. Does the
I don't know much, but he's heading our way.
Any minute now, you big lizard. Any minute now. He's moving like an entirely different being. Almost like he's...
You have any guess?
Wait, hold on. My God. I get it. I understand.
Get what?
It's an alternate being, a parasite. When he stopped, it was like the parasite sunk back into his body, and Goji was able to regain control.
What do we do?
Do you remember that project from the 70s? The first iteration of Mechagodzilla?
Project Apex.
I believe it's held in Custovia and had a function to mess with its brain waves. If this parasite, which takes over all motor and behavior controls, is hosted in the brain, then it's most likely is. Then it should be able to disrupt it enough for us or Godzilla himself to clear it out, or to get enough research to develop our own treatment that we can make.
For one, Custovia is under attack, and for another, the director won't approve it.
Well, he can shove it, and for the other, we have a crew up there. They can handle it themselves.
Shouldn't we at least let the director know?
If you'd like. Not like he can do anything about it. I'll do it regardless.
Anything new?
Remember Project Apex? We'll be using the scraps to create a weapon to disrupt Godzilla. He must be taken over by a parasite. The components in the upper body have the ability to disrupt the brains and kaiju. It would be a guaranteed chance to either stun or even kill the parasite.
That's too much of a risk. I can't approve that.
No need.
I'll send a team to apprehend you both. We have rules around here.
When you ultimately end up in hell, do you really want to have the title of the killer of the human race? The reason why the world ended?
When you get back, you'll face your consequences.
If it fails, which I'm sure it won't. Later, Director. What's the number of Apex Industries again?
I get now is a bit turbulent, but we need to extract a section of the neck.
still on this radio? We should talk.
Oh, Director, you have a change of heart?
I can admit I did, but I also uncovered some old files.
Tell me about it.
Back during the original Skull Island expeditions, Mr. Dean Him had found various paintings in an unknown language. We hadn't known how to translate them, so they were forgotten as time went on. Given the urgency of a current situation, I had a team work around the clock to translate them.
Anything interesting?
Very much so. It warned of a threat long ago to the Kong species within Hollow Earth, which seems to sound eerily similar to what we now face.
Specifics?
It was stated that the threat was a peculiar member of the Godzilla species, Gojira Bangamuk, or just Bangamuk, which is what it would name the beast. It was actually more of a parasite which inhabited the bodies of the Gojira species, and would battle the Kongs who strayed too far away from their home, sort of like a boogeyman for the ancient Kong and even the traces of the Iwi.
This must be it. Whatever that Pengamuk parasite is, that's what's messed with Godzilla. I see, that's why you've approved the plan.
Yes, but that's not all. It was said a subspecies of Kong would be able to defend against the Pengamuk, adapted to naturally repel them, the Prime Kong, which seems to match up with the current Kong as we know of, being large in height, lanky, and resistant to most energy attacks.
Well, in that case, for the sake of the operation, I know a place. Back to the island. That's where our Kong is, and it'd be too strenuous to bring him back outside.
I'll send some men out. Get some security.
Much appreciated. crazy in such short notice. We've assembled quite the army.
Guess so. It's just the one time we need the giant monster to wake up, they're still asleep. We'd hear by now, would we not?
Who knows? I'm sure it won't take too long.
I think they've made some progress. Let's go check.
Got it. Alert the base. We're gonna start heading towards the shore. Tell everyone to get ready.
Everyone, move towards the western shore. Kong has awoken.
Time is going surprisingly fast. I mean, it's a little too fast.
How so?
It's getting darker than usual, like much darker.
If this battle won't be over until dawn, then let's fight into the night.
Mimic Eve coming through, cover your ears.
Alright. So here's the plan. We need to lure Berserker to Skull Island, and which we'll be using various methods of. Estimates say he should arrive here around 3 a.m. tonight, which gives us about 6 hours to prepare. This ain't gonna be easy. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, there may be some casualties. Some that is putting that as softly as I can. But there's nothing we can do at this point besides what we got right here.
We could fire more tanks. Maybe it will work this time.
Maybe that could work. But the director has ordered his assistant to manage our Tokyo division, which will, starting with the Berserker's arrival in about 6 hours, we will immediately evacuate as much of the city as possible, minimize as many human casualties as possible, while us, on the other hand, will be working to secure the perimeter, keep calling a check, and prepare the vortex that we have right here in Outpost 33B. As I said before, around 3 o'clock, Berserker will land. Once he does, we need to work fast, each strategy back to back. First, we'll try suspension, some defense systems, of course, and then we'll release Calm. And lastly, we'll turn on the portals, which should be enough to send this beast back to the prehistoric era where he belongs.
Aren't you forgetting something?
Oh, yeah, right, yeah. Hold on one sec. Yeah, the portal will send him here to Tokyo, as planned. And then from there, the director's assistant will manage the refurbished Project Apex, which will house in our Mogira prototype to finish the job. And we'll finally end this before it gets too bad. How long until the Super X squad is ready?
Probably going to be another half hour. They're currently still setting up, to my knowledge.
That's alright, that's good. Any updates on Kostovia?
Yeah, I've been meaning to tell you.
What? What is it?
Kostovia has been entirely annihilated. It's hard to tell from the reports, but at least everything in the capital just no longer exists.
There's no way. How?
Pandemic went with just those random assorted kaiju. The city was in ruins, sure, but not total annihilation. I've heard that there's even ravines, earthquakes.
And what happened to the kaiju?
From what still remains, all of them are dead. Pangamuk is completely missing.
I was meaning to ask the director this, but what is Pengamuk? Like, is there an English translation?
Yes, Berserker.
Berserker? Anton?
Every second feels like an hour. Time is running out and I just don't know if things will end in the way we want.
We'll be fine. I'm sure of that.
It's not even just that. As much as Berserker is the true threat in this war, I can't plead myself for being the most innocent either.
What do you mean?
Years ago, 4 years ago to be exact, I was working for Overlord Baron, what the Custovian leader usually refers to themselves as.
Sasha Markov?
Yes, however, during that time it was a cover to avoid Monarch's detection. But we discovered these crystals which contained an energy source, clean, but also unveiled hollow earth pockets underneath.
I'm still not understanding what your role in all of this is, though.
I approved the expeditions to oversee their activities, making sure it all went to plan. Eventually, though, I knew something was off. The ground had started to rumble, and eventually, the entire quarry had began to collapse. It stopped, but I heard a noise within the deep, like a call or what I think an alteration to time itself.
You mean like time travel? Are these other kaijus from like alternative timelines, like different dimensions kind of thing?
No, I believe they're from entirely different universes themselves, but they have a really deep connection with our world. But then, as it rumbled, I noticed a few of my men fall into the caverns, and I realized this entire time I had never treated my team as humans, but merely an extension to my selfish pursuit of knowledge and fame, and that regret has now come to punish me. The souls of the damned want to retribute for my sins.
Okay, but how does that relate to what we face right now?
When that quarry disaster happened, not too long after, Godzilla Ryant died against Biollante, and Godzilla Juncina became the de facto king of the monsters. For all accounts, that should not have
I
happened.
don't think I can agree. That battle was a close one. Godzilla could have still died regardless, but sometimes you have to accept the past for what it is and abandon that hope of change. Trust me, I've torn myself apart over my niece back in Oregon. A string of mass suicides occurred, and she was one of the 34 that were dead. I slipped into a depression just as you did, but eventually I just realized that there are more pressing matters in the past, especially now. It's not the past we should dwell on, but how we should adapt to make sure it meant anything for the future, for the people who will come after, who won't know a world where we didn't know what we did now. I mean, or we didn't have that world they'll have then.
Thank you, but I don't think this is going to be over when we defeat Berserker. There is something I should tell you about Sasha.
What? Already he's here now?
How long until his arrival?
Give it about 5 minutes, a few minutes maybe, tops.
Then let's stall until then.
Skull Island crew has been successful. Godzilla has made a landing. We need to keep holding out. Start evacuation orders, now.
Godzilla specimen is gunned down. Only Kong remains.
Not for long. How long is left?
Just a few more minutes left. We need to hold out.
Got it. Let's hope Godzilla can hold his ground.
How far from the body?
Only over 8 meters, sir. We're pretty close.
Good. And I assume Berserker is dead?
I believe so. Can't even find the body.
Interesting. Did it just evaporate?
Evaporate? No. Berserker clearly is still alive. We can still see the signals, but they're really near. Like, they're close.
Sky Crew, anything up there?
No, nothing. Not seeing any sort of movement.
Just before this, Berserker transferred his consciousness into a new body, but can he make one small enough to be undetectable? Oh, shit. Oh, no.
What is it? Get away from the body!
Not yet. We're starting to get some... Wait.
No. How long until Morgira is ready again?
0.45 hours.
Great. We just got outplayed. It's over. Berserker's fallen.
You have a count on casualties?
No, but the director's assistant was killed in the battle.
I'm sure they'd be honored being able to go out in a spectacular way.
That's a bit insensitive, don't you think?
I guess, but they died having contributed to save the world. After that wasn't in vain either. But even now, I still don't think this is over.
What do you mean that this isn't over?
Sasha, if he's still alive, or God help us if he isn't, we'll still be able to one of us.
Shit, that's right. We need to meet with the director, figure all this out, and planning on what to do next.
Whatever happens, I'm sure we can work well to stop the worst from happening.
I'm sure as well. We should probably get the director out of his doom and gloom for a minute. Take some time to enjoy our well-deserved victory. You know any good cafes in Tokyo area? Restaurants maybe? Just maybe a quick place to grab a bite?
None of the ones with animals. I'm pretty allergic.
Oh, okay. So now you're allergic. Got it.
And now Berserker had fallen. Billions of this world sung in victory, while the trillions outside had no idea of the bullet that had been dodged today. With the Allegiance now having completed its goal and most members being dead, it was disbanded, while Manila would go on to deliver the news of the victory to the remaining members of the Guardian Titans.
Having the pleasure to be the saviors of the world, I think you both should probably take a vacation.
Vacation to where? I'm pretty sure our only vacation spots are just rubble by now. Everything's gone.
Director, how long do you think we'll have until that vacation is impossible?
Not long, I'll say. I think maybe 2 minutes until we're called to something else.
There's your answer why we won't take one.
Wherever he is, I'm sure Godzilla must be recovering. I'm very sure that this took a huge toll on him.
A toll? He lost the last father he ever had. We'd be lucky if he doesn't want to kill us the next time we cross paths.
Whatever it is that happens, we'll be ready. But we cannot stay over Covenant. If the next war looms and we are prepared, there could be thousands of Gustovias waiting to happen.
And we'll stop them. By any means necessary, we will stop them.
Did you not hear what I'm saying? Or are you just being rude?